Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to another episode of The Dream. It's your host, Zeke Wanganga. On this show, we interview immigrants from like myself who have come from different countries to the United States to accomplish the American dream. And on this episode, I have my friend. He is a two-time author. This dude has 2 books. He's still in college here in Kansas City at UMKC, but he is doing massive stuff, and he is originally from Nigeria. So, welcome today with me, Mr. Victor Isoh. How you doing, Mr. Isoh? How you doing today?
Zeke, thank you so much for inviting me here, man.
It's an honor to have you, man.
So glad.
You are an extraordinary talent, man. You have 2 books out. I have known you for a year. Is it a year now?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
Jeez, man. 2020 just flew past.
Yeah, you're right. The COVID just had everyone, tensed up and all of that stuff.
2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Give us a bio, because I know you're from Nigeria. Kind of give us a bio of your upbringing and kind of like your vision of the first time you thought about coming to the U.S. What was that like for you, and how did you?
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I actually, grew up in Nigeria,
Yes.
and every young child back home actually has this, this American dream, or the United Kingdom, or Canada or something.
Yes.
And as a young man, I was really inspired by a lot of people here in the United States of America. I actually had a lot of people actually looked up to. I had professors, I had authors I always admired and all of that. I don't want to call some of their names because of it's like a global program, but I've always wished and always hoped that one day I'm actually going to be in the United States of America. Getting that American dream. Going after that and everything, getting a degree here and everything. And that actually, got me so inspired as a young man, to keep reading books by American authors, keep watching American movies and all of that, hoping that one day I'm actually going to be here too, to achieve that dream. I'm glad that I'm so happy I'm here today.
That's exciting.
I'm
I don't know what your story is, but I remember when I was, I think probably 6 or 7 years old, I would be washing my dad's car, and I'll be having this imagination in my head of me being in the U.S. And this came as, I Can't Papa, the actors.
I know them.
Yes, they had this movie back in the days where they went to the U.S. and they were having fun and having a party.
Yeah.
And in my head, that stuck to my head. And I'm like, one day I'm going to go there. I don't know how, but here we are today. Now, give me a little background of, you being an author. What are some inspirations for you that really made you to say, hey, I'm going to write a book and I'm going to start writing a book?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, growing up as a young man, I actually saw young people face a lot of challenges.
Yes.
And that actually, triggered this passion in me that I really want to help out.
Yes.
Seeing a lot of, challenges that young people actually go through.
Yes.
And, there's always a saying that the old people actually have the wisdom.
Yeah.
The young people actually have the time. The old people have the wisdom, but without the time.
Yeah.
The young people have the time, but without much wisdom.
Yes.
So, there must surely be a bridge that actually connects the old and the young together, and help pass that wisdom onto the young ones. So actually got inspired to start reading books, start meeting up with mentors and everything. And I was in a stage in my life where I felt like there's actually something I can actually do for others, not just for myself. From the things I've actually learned, studied and everything, and actually got inspired in the year 2017 to put up a book that's called Your 20s. I said that looking at that, and it went on to 2018, and the book got published in 2018 called Your 20s. That was my first book.
Yes.
And it was exceptional. I remember when I was trying to publish it, I actually met someone I really respected, and I told him, I have a book that I want to publish. And he was like, I don't think you can do this right now.
Wow.
We have millions of books out there. What is your book really going to do? And he was actually right, but he was also wrong.
Exactly.
Because it was not really what my book is actually going to do. Is even if it's one life that book can actually bless and inspire. And when that book was actually out, it really blessed hundreds of lives. I'm not going to say thousands, but hundreds of lives. And it actually gave me this great joy that I could, bring something out that, actually helped someone get his feet back on and everything. And that was so good.
Man, how old were you when you wrote your first book?
I was like 19.
Are you
19,
serious?
20, yeah.
Wow.
And I wrote a book in your 20s. And I was 19, 20.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually, caught that very early.
Okay.
The truth is that, to be honest with you, I'm the person that actually hated writing right from time.
Wow.
So,
I hate writing.
It's somehow for me because I never, loved writing and all of that stuff. But it came to like a point in my life where I felt that there is something that I can actually do for others.
Yes.
And that actually moved me to see, okay, I think I can pen down 1 or 2 thoughts down.
Exactly.
And from 1 or 2 thoughts down, it became a page. It became 2 pages. Before 100 pages. And like, wow, this is good. Gave it to mentors to read it, and that was really cool. And
wow.
People were blessed.
Now, tell me this. What would you say was the first book that you read that inspired you to say, hey, I'm going to go for something I want to do and I'm going to go do it? What is one book that you think you read that really started that fire in your heart?
Yeah, I think it's What Makes the Great Great by Dennis Kimbrough. He's an American professor and everything. Okay. And that book, I think about 300 and something pages.
Wow.
But I still have that book in my library. It's like my second best book today. Like,
wow.
I read it like almost every year, like over 10 times in a year.
Wow.
I mark out different pages.
Wow.
His thoughts, I don't know how he was able to come up with that, but that was like beyond this world.
Wow.
I tell you the truth. What Makes the Great Great? Actually, I like recommend that book to anyone out there. What Makes the Great Great? Very good book. Very good book.
Now, let's backtrack a little bit. So you were in Nigeria 2017, right?
Yeah.
Now, when did you come to the U.S.?
I came to the U.S. That was 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
What was that feeling for you? What was your when you got to the U.S.? What was the feeling for you? What were things that you think that were not normal to you?
To be honest with you, I actually had this picture of, like America in my head. Like,
yes, everyone does.
So when I actually got to the airport at first, it was cool. I just landed like in Dallas, and it was just good. I was like, okay. But when I came outside, it was like, okay, is this the United States? That I actually heard about for years. Like, okay, it just looks like, like the average city. Like, I was like, what exactly? Like another place with like different kinds of. So I was like, okay. At first, I was like, okay. Then I tried to like, okay, I can compose myself. But to be honest with you, at first, when I actually came in, it was not what I really like envisaged. To be honest with you, because I actually had like those dreams of people playing like snow, like playing ball.
The movies,
it was just
Hollywood.
Exactly like playing snow. It was just so different. And actually came in like, during like, I think like that was like the summer or something. So it was so hot. It was so hot. So hot.
And Texas hot is a different kind of hot.
Oh man, Texas hot is a burning kind of hot.
Dang. So how did you end up in Missouri of all places? How did you get that application to UMKC? How did that all come about?
Yeah, I actually had like loved ones that actually stayed in Missouri, and they actually like advised me that UMKC was a good school, to try out. And that was how I actually put for like my application to UMKC, because to be honest with you, I have like lots of people asking me this question: why not New York? Why not Texas? Why Missouri of all places?
Exactly.
How come you got to find out? But I actually had like people that actually spoke so well about UMKC.
Yes.
I actually came to find out even from past guys that actually like attended the school that it was really like a good school. And no regrets today at all. No regrets.
Yes.
No regrets at all.
So you came to UMKC. Because I know when I first landed in the U.S., when I was in the plane, I think the weirdest thing for me was they served me this plate with a whole bunch of things. There was bread on it, there was butter on it, there was like a whole bunch of like vegetables.
Yeah.
So I didn't know where to start.
That's true.
Did you have that?
I did.
I was like, where do I start? I don't know what to do. Eat the butter or eat the bread? What do I do? So I watched the guy right next to me. I was like, I was watching him, whatever he was doing. He didn't know.
Yeah.
But I think everyone has that experience, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Now, let's fast forward a little bit. You're at UMKC. What would you say are some struggles that you face on a daily basis, being an immigrant, being an international student, that you think if you had known this ahead of time, it would have helped you go faster in your process of being a student here?
Yeah, I think people like on campus, people like in UMKC are very like accommodating and everything, which was not what I actually like envisaged at first. I felt it's actually going to be like this, okay, you're on your own kind of a thing, since you're from like a different nationality and everything. So when I came in at first, I was always like alone, always just do my things on my own, and everything. I actually even had like some issues like in classes and everything, because at first it was kind of weird for me. I actually had like this, should I put it, almost like the stage fright kind of thing, because I was seeing like people from like different nationalities and actually sounded like different, and it was, at first it was almost so crazy, and But it came to like a point in my life where actually like I had to tell myself that see, it's actually okay to be different. People actually people actually made in different ways, and that actually makes us unique. I don't have the same thumbprint with someone else.
Exactly.
So it's so okay to be different. It's so okay to look different. It's okay to speak differently and everything.
Yes.
And at a point in time, I actually just like relaxed like my grapes, and I started making friends and started hanging out and everything.
Yes.
And it was really good. I actually like wished I actually did that when I came in at first, because I was really a little bit
trying to learn the
Exactly.
way.
nitty-gritties.
What is one thing that you think was weird for you when you came here? What is one weird thing that you would say that thing kind of like stood out to you when you came to the US?
I think it's the fact that I think first, let me just talk like the one like on campus. I remember like the first students actually stayed. I saw people waving at me,
Yes.
and everyone was like that kind of a thing. So I felt like, oh, they actually like me. I saw like
that's so true.
I know we are like like in the camera and everything, but I just saw like some nice faces just saying hi, hello, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, man, they like me. That kind of.
You started catching feelings.
Yeah. So one day, I actually saw someone just walk up to me, just say, like, I just saw someone just pass,
Yes.
and was just smiled and everything. So I walked up to the person, and the person was shocked, and I was like, "But you smiled at me," so I just walked up to you, and that's shocked. So that was like the first time I noticed that I think people just do that, without even, they just give you like this smile, but it doesn't mean you should come close.
Exactly.
So that was something I actually learned like in the hard way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to learn that myself
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
it's-
because when I came to US, I would see people say waving and saying hi, and I was like, oh, okay. Hey, you want to talk? Like, nah, I'm on my way to class. You go on your way, I go on my way.
Exactly, you're right.
But you learn as you go. So before you came to the US, I think, what was the decisions and actions you had to take to be able to move? Because you told me that you were working back home before you.
Yeah.
What was that like? Being able to leave your work to come to what was that whole process for you with your family and everything going on, and for you to move all the way to the US?
Yeah, it was really like a difficult time for me, because
Yes.
I was like, I just got like a job like in the banking sector back home.
Okay.
And it was like something I actually like really like dreamt about, working like with one of like the top banks in Nigeria and everything. And I just got the job and everything, and at the same time also got like an admission to come, back here to school, down here to school.
Yes.
And at first it was kind of like, I was kind of like confused, because I was like, okay, God, why should I have two opportunities open like this at the same time for me? Which one should I actually go for? But at the end of the day, I actually had to go for the United States, and it was a trying time for me, because that was like leaving like my family, leaving like people actually like grew up with, everything behind, and leaving like the job, like
Yes.
resigning.
Yes.
That you just got like a job and you actually had to resign
Exactly.
because you got like another opportunity. It was pretty like a very difficult time for me emotionally and everything, because I grew up with these people, we grew up together, and at the end of the day, I'm just leaving without even knowing when I might likely return and everything.
Yes.
So it was really difficult emotionally for me.
So basically, you jumped into it. What were the finances like? Being able to like leave everything and be able to push yourself to the US.
Yeah, it was really like demanding. It was really like
Yes.
demanding, because if you actually check like most countries in Africa actually like they value like their currency almost every time. So even if you actually had like the resources to come, you can't tell what few months is actually going to look like.
Exactly.
Back like with the currency devaluation and everything.
Yes.
So that was something that, although I actually just took the risks. Okay, I think I can do this. But coming down here, it was not like a different ball game.
Yes.
COVID happened and everything just went like, okay, what am I actually going to do now?
Wow.
And that's something I've actually like discovered about life. I actually even heard you say that too. That if life throw you, I think you said if life threw you like a challenge and everything, you should try to make something out of it.
Exactly.
When the COVID actually came up, it was a very, very, very like demanding time. A lot of students were out of college, like international students and all of that. And it was like, okay, you either have to either take risks to do this, or you have to do that because of like But at the end of the day, that's like life for you. You got to like be prepared.
It was a journey, because
Yeah.
I remember 2020 was hard. It was I didn't have a job at 2020. I didn't have no money. I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm just gonna start interviewing more people. But it's like, in those scenarios, because I feel like everyone experienced COVID-19 in 2020 different. But as an
That's
international student, you experience it more because you have no health care. You have no job because the schools are closed.
That's true.
If you have a scholarship, good for you. But I didn't have a scholarship. Like, there's a whole bunch of things going on, and I think the mental pressure of just being in a different country and knowing that what if I was being sent home, which is another thing that happened when there was that whole thing that was like international school might have to go home to study from home, and I was like, what am I gonna do if I was pushed to go back home?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited now that we are able to come through and push through that, go through 2020. So it's an exciting thing to sit here. But cheers to that. Cheers to being able to survive 2020 and being alive. But yeah, so you are a 2-time author. You have a new book out now. And when did you release this book?
Oh, that was in 2019.
2019.
Yeah,
wow.
That was when I actually wrote the book and published it at first. But when I actually came to like the United States, I decided to publish it like on a global scale.
Okay.
And so it just recently came out.
All right.
I just published it. I worked with like a printing press in Pennsylvania, and just recently came out.
And the book is called Make It Count.
It's called Make It Count.
Make It Count. What inspired you for that title and why?
Yeah, Make It Count was something that actually, got inspired to write in 2019.
Okay.
I remember like I was, going for like an exam that morning, and I was just taking like my shower and everything.
Yes.
And I was just like, just glancing through, like just meditating, just thinking. And I started, thinking how life is actually like in stages. A lot of people, come to learn this, late. There is like a wise man. I actually read it like a book, or actually heard something from a wise man and say like you can actually like divide life into 4 phases. The first phase is from age 1 to 25. The next one is from 25 to 50.
Okay.
The next one is from 50 to 75. Then the last phase is from 75 to 100. And if you divide life into these 4 phases, you're actually going to see that life is really short and everything. And in whatever phase you actually find yourself, you actually have to make life count at that stage.
Yes.
So it's a book that actually talks about the power of vision. It talks about forgetting like your past mistakes and just pushing forward. It's a book that actually like reminds people that life is not so easy as they actually like envisage. Okay. You actually have to go through challenges and everything, but you must set your face like a flint, that despite the challenges and everything, you can actually come out strong. So that's what Make It Count. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
And I feel like, being an immigrant, that's literally our story every single day.
You're right.
It's like, it's tough. You always have that point where I don't know what my next step is going to be. All I got to do is believe and have faith.
That's true.
And in that moment, you're like, I have a dream, and which is really why what the show is all about is I have this dream that you want to accomplish, but sometimes it feels like that dream is not going to happen.
Exactly.
But you stay in it and stay in the grind, right? So talk us through this. So you wrote your book, and right now your book is available online, right? Correct?
Yeah, on different platforms, Amazon, iTunes, Barnes and Nobles, and in different countries too. They can actually access it.
So how long did it take you to write the book?
It took me like over like a year doing like research and everything.
Okay.
Studying and everything, doing like my research, listening to mentors talk, meeting up with mentors and everything, penning down your thoughts and everything. Okay. Over like a year to come up with that book.
That is extraordinary. I have not even read a book. I don't even know what it feels like to read a book. That is something, it's very significant, being able to be an author is something that, it's a huge deal. I can't write a page of nothing, but you have you have 2 books now out, and that is extraordinary. So, I mean, I'm proud and even humbled to be able to know you and seeing you in this process of you getting to where you are, because you are still at UMKC and you already have 2 books out, and not a lot of people can say that for themselves, right? Where you are, you have a vision and you accomplish it, right? Because some people are afraid of doing it, right?
Yeah.
So the book is out. Make It Count is right here by my main man, Victor Chinedu Isoh. This is an extraordinary book. Can I talk us through the part where you talk about being able to overcome your fear and being able to accomplish your goal, even though things are not as easy as they seem?
You're right. A wise man once said, like, fear is a mirage and everything. If you're driving, like along like the highway at times, you come across like it looks like there's like a pool of water like ahead of you.
Yes.
And when you like approach it, it just disappears and everything. Someone actually also said that fear means false evidence looking real. False evidence appearing to be real.
Wow.
That's what fear stands for. And most times we actually face this almost every day of our lives and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, put there to actually stop you from accomplishing your purpose, from accomplishing your dream. And when you actually go towards that, you're going to discover that, oh, I could do this. I could achieve this, despite what it actually, felt like or actually seemed like to be. But that's it.
Man, because that is very significant. Because there is this saying in Igbo language, and I'm
Yeah.
going to explain what it means. But they say, "Anya wo nyojo, but aka wo nyor," which means your eyes is always afraid of what it sees, but your hands and your heart are willing to work.
That's true.
Right?
That's
when
true.
you see something, you see an obstacle, you're like, man, that's huge. But if you start towards it, you're gonna finish and accomplish it.
That's true.
But I think what people fear of most is starting. Starting is
You're
the
right.
hardest part of it.
You're
You know, writing one book, you write one book, you're like, man, that book was good. Then you write another
Another
one.
one.
It's a step-by-step process. But all that to say, man, you are doing fantastic, man. You are doing extraordinary. You are
Right.
gonna be. I know you're gonna be a legend in the like a legend in Nigeria, and it's just being able to see you at this stage of your life where you're still pressing things and getting things out, and even though things are not as they seem, but you are still grinding it out. That is just that is epic.
Yeah.
What is one tidbit you want to give to someone who's out there, either in Nigeria or anywhere in the world, that has this vision and this dream that they want to accomplish, but they're afraid that I don't know how it would come to pass. I don't know how it's going to work out. What would you tell them?
Just start. Just start.
Yes.
You know, just start. T.D. Jakes once said something. He said, if it's not the thing, it's actually going to be the thing that leads you to the thing. You know, a lot of people, fear that, okay, what if I actually try something and I tend to discover that, oh, this was not really what I wanted to do. If you actually do that, it's going to be the thing that leads you to the thing that you're going to do. So, just start up with something. If you actually have like that vision and everything, just go for it. Go for it knowing that you actually live once. You actually come here once, you actually live once.
Exactly.
And you don't actually have forever. And time is like the unit of destiny. Time is like the unit of life. You can actually, even get money or something, but you can never buy a time actually one sprint. You can
Yes.
only like invest your time. So it's better you actually start right now, fail, try again, fail, try again. And one day you're really like, like achieving what you actually like intended to achieve.
Yes.
So it's just start. Just start.
Wow, you heard it. Just start. And like our motto at Fired Up Case said, it says, it starts with you. You're the one who has to start it.
Right.
Right? No matter how big or how small it is, make that step. Have your vision. Vision is important. You also talk about vision in your book. Vision is important because once you have where you want to go, the way would open up for itself, right?
That's true.
So we have come towards the end of the show, but it's been an exciting show with Mr. Victor here today, just giving us wisdom, bars, and fire on fire. But we're going to do a quick game. I'm calling it Fast Five, right? And on this Fast Five game, I'm going to ask you 5 fast questions, and you have to answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Oh, 1 second. I gotta think. Oh, am I ready? I'm ready.
All right, here we go. We go. Okay. First question. Who is Kansas City's quarterback? Don't think about it. You got to give it whatever comes to your mind.
No.
There we go. Second question. You have to think of whatever comes to your mind. What is the capital of Taraba State in Nigeria?
Jalingo.
Oh, you got that one. Okay. Who killed Abacha?
Devil. The devil.
Fourth question. What is the title of the first chapter of your book?
Vision.
Okay, yes, you got that one. Okay, cool. Now the last question. Where is the country Georgia located in?
Atlantic.
That is the country.
No. Where's the what country?
The country of Georgia. Yeah.
Is it the United States?
No, that is a state. The state of Georgia is different.
Oh.
But that's good. That's what the question is to make you think fast. But yeah, I've come to the end of the show. Thank you for coming on this show today.
Thank you so much, Dick, for having me, man.
Where can people find your book and where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, Chinedu Isoh, and the book is actually like on Amazon right now. It's on Barnes and Nobles, iTunes, and every other platform you can actually think about.
Yes.
Just look up Chinedu Isoh on LinkedIn. Go to Amazon and just get like a copy. It's selling out so fast. You're actually gonna love it. Trust me.
Go grab a copy. But thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much,
It's
Dick.
been another episode of The Dream, the show that brings all the dreamers from across the world to talk about their stories and their journeys. And thank you guys for tuning in today. And don't forget, you can find us on all platforms at firedupkc.com, or you can go to our social media at firedupkc. Do not forget, tune in next time, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye bye, and stay fired up for now.
Fired up.